Ex-BBC presenter tells Britons to grieve and start strong campaign to rejoin the EU. A former BBC presenter has risked triggering the fury of Brexiteers by telling British Europeans to grieve at midnight over Brexit and to quickly begin the long, strong campaign to rejoin the European Union. Boris Johnson has urged the British population to seize the moment, with the end of the transition period marking a new beginning in our country's history and a new relationship with the EU as their biggest ally. But historian Simon Sharma has told British Europeans they can grieve at midnight for what has been lost, what has been harmed. He appealed for them to move on, but instead of accepting Brexit, being the long, strong campaign to rejoin the EU. Mr. Sharma told his 165,000 followers on Twitter, wrote, "Dear fellow British Europeans, you can grieve at midnight for what has been lost, what has been harmed. When they tell you to move on, do move on, to the long, strong campaign to rejoin, however hard the road, however long it takes, it starts now." Hundreds of fellow rejoiners replied to the Twitter post, angry about Brexit. One person replied, "How do I leave the UK and live in the EU? Now a long application process. Completely stymied all ways round. Trapped." Another wrote, "Did anyone ever question why Brexiters were termed Brexiteers, making them sound heroic like musketeers? Remainers weren't Remainiers." A third person commented, "New Year's resolutions, I will not feed Rishi Sunak's Brexit economy. Instead, I will use all stockpiled food for the next 6 months or more in my own version of Brexit-inspired austerity. I will not patronize any Brexit-owned business or buy goods, services from #Brexiteers." But one person lashed out at the comments from Mr. Sharma, and raged, "For heaven's sake, Simon, wake up, man. What we should be grieving about is, 1. Thousands upon thousands who have suffered by austerity, largely the vulnerable, 2. 8.4 million in food insecurity, 3. 30% of kids in relative poverty, 4. Social care crisis. Wake up, man." On Wednesday evening, Prime Minister Mr. Johnson thanked MPs and peers for passing his post-Brexit trade deal with the EU, urging the country to seize the moment when the transition period ends at 11 p.m. on Thursday. He said in a statement, "I want to thank my fellow MPs and peers for passing this historic bill and would like to express my gratitude to all of the staff here in Parliament and across government who have made today possible. The destiny of this great country now resides firmly in our hands.